things. Okay, so I'm going to answer this one, but I'm going to try and not do it too long because the baby really needs a nap. Okay, hi Bruce. So, first of all, how do we handle home finances? Okay, Ernest obviously is the one who actually makes money. I stay home and take care of the children and things like that. Ernest is huge with helping here though, but we don't have separate bank accounts. We trust each other completely, and I know there are some people that have to have separate bank accounts, but that's just for us. Anyway, I would never recommend separate bank accounts unless you had a special business or something. Like example, Ernest could read any of my emails, YouTube, Facebook, anytime he wanted, if he wanted to, because he knows all my passwords. And the same goes for him. I could do that too. We just trust everyone implicitly. So so basically, paying off our credit cards. So it took us a long time to pay off the credit cards, and we used our tax refund and things like that. But here's the thing: you don't want to pay off credit cards. Don't get in debt. If you don't have to, because it's so bad, so bad. 25% every month they charge you 25% of what you owe them. And that goes on your bill. That's crazy. Who's responsible for buying things at home? Okay, so I'm primarily the shopper, for the most part. I buy the kids' clothes, I buy things to clean the house or decorate the house, and even going grocery shopping for food and items such as that. But Ernest goes shopping too a lot, so because he likes to pick out his own food when he's making his food, and he does a lot of cooking, which I love. So he likes to pick out his things, but he will send me to get like certain beans or whatever if he doesn't have time, because he works a lot. Plus he has his 2 YouTube channels and like so many other things. So sometimes he'll send me. So yeah, thanks Bruce. Okay. Let's see. Do you know, Ernest has just popped in, and I wanted to tell you that the Ugandan village wife, what she said, she said this. I'm gonna put it up. Oh, why did it do that? I clicked on it. Sorry. Okay, so here we go. So she says, even on YouTube, your husband is so real and genuine. I just wanted to share that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so new comments. Okay, so there is a gentleman that wants to know about filling out the DS260, and I told him he'd have to comment on you. So okay, so I already answered that. Thank you, everyone. And there's somebody that's completely MCA, any vacancy in the US. So like, again, you need to contact Ernest about that EBM. Okay, so Barbara Sada, I don't know if you say Barbara Sarah or how you say it, excuse me. I'm gonna click on that and, I did it again. I don't know why it does that, but I know how to get back there.
That's why it disappears.
Oh.
That's what I asked you. Do you want them?
See, but if I'm so sorry, but here, if I want to go here and click it, you don't do that, see? Oh, down here. Oh, okay, right. See, I had my Mac years ago and it was different. Did the church disown me after getting married and having kids? I think that that you might be confused. And, okay, so I was a sister and a nun, and I was in temporary vows. And those temporary vows expire every year, so they were expired. So I was no longer obligated by the church to be a sister. So I was free to do what I wanted. The church really doesn't disown anybody. If you really know the church, it's Holy Mother Church. And I know that there are humans within the church, excuse me, there's a lot of allergies and my nose is itching, but there are a lot of humans make up the church here on earth, and so it's really hard when we hear things from people that tell us things that are not correct about the church. And so I promise you that the church does not disown people that leave religious life or the priesthood, or if you're a seminarian and you leave, that doesn't happen. And even if you say you left and you were still in vows, or you were still a priest and you ran away, which is scandalous, but the church doesn't disown you, it wants you back. So we need to remember the church has a heart, and it's Jesus Christ. So, no. In fact, I have a sacramental marriage with Ernest. So, no. I think that it's important to know that the church is loving, whether you meet bad people or good people. But remember that Jesus Christ is at the heart of the church, and he loves you infinitely. And sometimes it's really hard, because I've had priests or sisters or just regular people tell me things that really hurt, but that doesn't mean that they're true. So there you go. Our kids are baptized. In fact, Benedict made his first Holy Communion a couple years ago. Okay. Hey, David. Here we go. I did it finally. What kind of car do you recommend to a starter in the US? Okay, depends on how many people. So if you're just one or two, I would recommend like a small sedan. And what I mean by a small sedan, I'm talking about maybe like a Ford Escort, or you want something that has 2 seats in the front, 2 seats in the back, and 4 doors, because I have friends that have 2 doors, and trying to get in the back is a joke for anybody, even kids, because you're trying to crawl behind. But honestly, you want to get a used car if you can. But I wouldn't just get a used car from anywhere, because there are people that will lie to you and not tell you the truth. You should be able, any car you buy, you should be able to have a mechanic look at it from outside of the dealership or wherever you are. They should allow you to have a mechanic look at it to make sure it's okay. A new car you shouldn't really have to worry about, but here in Belton, we go to this certain mechanics, Belton Transmission. It's a plug for them, even though nobody else lives in Belton. But they will look at the car you're going to buy for free to make sure that it's safe and reliable. But honestly, you have to be so careful about that, because we know plenty of people who ended up with, we know somebody that bought a used car from a used car lot, and it ended up with tons of problems, and they were new to the United States and they didn't know the questions to ask. And so please don't just go and buy a car, and especially don't ever buy a car at night. You can't see things. Never, ever. And I remind you that people that are selling you something want to make money, whatever it is they're selling. So they're going to do whatever they can to sell it to you. I'm not saying that people lie all the time, because that's not the case, but especially car salesmen, they only make money when they sell a car. It's like a realtor, somebody that sells houses here in the United States. They only make money when they sell a house, or get somebody to buy a new house. Okay, so that, so I highly recommend having somebody that knows cars, a mechanic, even if you had to pay $100. I mean, how much do you think it's going to cost you in the long run if it's a bad car? We call it a lemon. That means it's a bad car. And so you don't want to do that. But I honestly, if you're just 1 or 2 people, I'd get a very small, don't get a smart car. And I'll tell you why you don't want a smart car. A smart car will get you killed, because the force of impact will kill you, but the car won't get ruined because it's so sturdy. And they're so tiny. I could see that in Europe, but not here. Here we have big cars and roads and people drive really fast. And okay, so I heard that if you, in Tanzania on the roads, if you're just driving from place to place, not like inside Dar like that, but it's 35 miles an hour. I'm not sure what that would be kilometers, but 35 miles an hour here is on a side street in a business district. We on the highways, most highways are 65 miles an hour now. So that's almost double. And so it's also good to practice driving, because if you drive too slow here, you will cause an accident. I know that's kind of a tangent, but so I highly recommend that you look at reviews. Reviews is a big thing here in the United States. Reviews, talk to people. If you go on places like, well, I can only think of, there's Kelley Blue Book. Kelley Blue Book, Kelley, Kelley, I think that's what it is. And then blue, like the color blue, and then book. Just type it into Google, Kelley Blue Book. It'll tell you about different cars, what they're worth, even if it's a used car, and what it should have. So I hope that answered your question. I probably answered too much, right? Sorry. Okay. My husband's a king. Yeah, so that makes me his queen, right? Thanks.